Hi there, good morning to my next little episode on the Atala pop bike build of cheapest possible. I decided that I need to start on the frame with the worst problem, the most difficult one. So get that out of the way, make sure I can master this and feel good, and from then on it's easier and downhill. So let me give you a little glimpse into this situation. You can see that this is god awful. I already did some scraping, cleaning, whatnot, brushing. But let's do the first things first. So this is a Shimano standard British thread pattern, and see what happens. This falls right in. So this is obviously quite a different size. So that's no good. Then I had this little packet somewhere, Italian, and I had this earmarked for an old Bianchi build, but this frame, this Atala frame, originally had loose bearings which need to be adjusted and are more than a pain in the ass, and they're never going to be as good as one of these, no matter how bad they are. Well, I'm saying that, okay? So I think, or let me rephrase, it's just so much easier to use a square taper. So I have this, and I remember harvesting this. This came from another Italian bicycle, which was clearly abandoned. It's been sitting in the elements for decades, and somebody had built this and had already put in a square taper sealed bottom bracket. I would say the bottom bracket's probably 1990, 1980, and the bike was definitely more like 1950s. Total heavy something. Didn't do much. I don't remember. I don't think I did anything with this, but I harvested that and I had kept this, and I never really looked at it very closely. You also see here, I mean, these two things are unrelated. We got some severely bad issue inside the frame, and we have some severely bad issue on the bottom bracket. Now the next thing is, let me see how I can do this with one hand. Sorry, I've tried this part that goes with this. I tried it on the other side, and it screws in really nicely all the way. This one on this side, it doesn't. It's really funny because, you know, it's the same part that can be bolted on both sides, which is weird in my books. But take my word for it, on the other side it just basically falls in. And we do have something like a measurement of 71, I would say, and a little bit more. And if I clip this on here, wow, okay, works. And then I add it, let it sit down at the bottom, and then we look at it from the side. So we're just a tiny little 1.5 millimeters off. So this is obviously a 70, I would say, which is weird. Again, everything is weird here. Or should I say this would be a 68, and then you can put a fastening bolt on the other side. So we do not have this luxury, and I have nothing else. What I will do is basically purchase a new Italian threaded bottom bracket. That is 73, and then I can put, in the worst case, one of these fancy brand new Chinese spacers on the outside. So I will purchase them as well in both colors depending. I already have the black ones on order, so I will order some in silver if I can find, and I will order a bottom bracket hopefully in silver, so to stick with the classic vibe. Meanwhile, what I will do is basically put a file. I know you shouldn't do that because it's not perfectly perfect, but I'll do my best to keep it as good as possible, and make it flat at least. The other side, the same thing. I will do that in a moment. I'll do that first because then I can clean up the sharp edges, and I also can clean up the inches to the thread on this side. It's clearly there, whereas something here has bad happened. I will yet need to find one who can help me cut the Italian thread. I'm here in Istanbul, close to the Bosporus, meeting the Black Sea, so I'm a little bit far out from the center of town. There's not too many bicycle shops that do funny stuff in their minds. I will carefully look into that, and as I do not want to wait, and we have about 2 weeks time before the end of the challenge, I want just to do with the most simple ways possible. So what I'll do is I'll clean up the surface in my most amazing skill accumulated in a internship, a practical metal internship at Mercedes-Benz under Turkheim some 100 years ago. No, let me think, 1985, something like that. So I learned how to file. I will do that, and then I will use this very sophisticated wrong end of the file to scrape away all the things that are pointing out and are in the way of the thread running. In my experience, that is basically what kills you here, these little things. So I will chisel them out using all kinds of wonderful tools. You will now start watching me doing so. Okay, let me put you in the stand, and then we'll have some fun.